And nearly 36 streets and parks in New Orleans could be renamed in the coming months. And now, as the initial list of recommendations has become public, there is a push to get additional input from the public. Tootie Montana has that story.
This is Tulane Avenue, at least for now. The process of considering a new name for it and 36 other streets and public places in the city is now underway. The ultimate goal is to remove names that honor the Confederacy or white supremacy. Paul Tulane was a major donor to the Confederate States. The City Council Street Renaming Commission has suggested the road could be renamed for Tootie Montana, the Mardi Gras Indian chief.
This was a robust process that has basically coupled the idea of public input with historical recommendations. And now we've come to this crossroads where we're about to pass our recommendation as the commission onto the council.
That combination of public input and ideas from historians working with the Street Renaming Commission means Palmer Park, named in honor of Pastor Benjamin Palmer, who helped state leaders secede from the Union, could be renamed. One idea, renaming it for Judge John Minor Wisdom, an appeals court judge whose rulings helped to advance the civil rights movement. In Algiers, several streets that honor Mayor Martin Berman are considered for renaming as well. Berman was a member of the Regular Democratic Organization, which promoted segregation. The most prominent place that could get a new name is Lee Circle. The commission recommended renaming it for Leah Chase. Charles Marsala says he hopes its location a block away from the World War II Museum means it can be a place to honor veterans.
Duncan Plaza at City Hall could be where we honor civil rights activists. So we'd put together a master plan for New Orleans that this becomes veterans, City Hall becomes civil rights, and the French Quarter we'd set up a spot to honor the musicians.
Mark Raymond, who sits on the Street Renaming Commission, says anything is still possible.
So this is absolutely not a done deal. This was the initial draft recommendation from the commission. We're still doing a lot of public outreach. We want to hear as much as possible as we develop our final recommendation, which will go to the council.
Tootie Montana, Eyewitness News.
Well, all but one of the suggested changes are for people who have died. The only living person is federal judge Ivan Lamel. Now, the City Council and City Planning Commission will have to review the recommended changes before anything can happen. Now, there's no timeline for how long that could take. But if you'd like to make a recommendation for a street name change, you can visit the Street Renaming Commission's website. That address is nolacccsrc.org.